up, YouTubers? You're watching this video because you may be thinking about finding a job here in Singapore and working here. The thing about Singapore is that it's the third richest country in the world as ranked by IMF, International Monetary Fund, in terms of GDP. We have the third highest GDP of US $90,000 per capita. Unfortunately or fortunately in Singapore, most of the jobs that is available here, Singaporeans do not want to do them. As of 2017, there are 1.3 million foreign workers in Singapore. That may not sound like much, but if you think about it, Singapore is a really small place with only about 5 million people. That means that 1 out of every 4 people here that I meet is a foreign workers. There are lots of jobs here for foreigners that Singaporeans will not do. And I'm sure with my tips here that I'm going to give you and you follow the steps, you will find a job here in Singapore if you have the necessary qualifications and the experience. Living and working in Singapore is pretty straightforward. Well, everybody pretty much speaks some form of English here. There's all kinds of food from all cuisines available here. Transport is easy. You don't need a car to get around, and easy to find accommodation as well. There are no seasons here and it's summer all year long, which means that you can head to the beach, to the pool, have a run, have a jog, go cycling all year round. The other attraction of working in Singapore is that once you have worked in Singapore long enough, you have the possibility of applying for permanent residency here. And with permanent residency, you get a lot more benefits than just being a worker here. And after being a permanent resident for a few years, who knows? You might just apply to be a citizen, and who knows, if you are lucky and if you have the right credentials, you might just join Singapore to be a Singaporean. Let's get started to find a job and work in Singapore. Before you start to look for any job in Singapore, the very first thing you want to do is polish up your resume. You want to make sure your resume contains all the updated information with regard to your experience and the places that you have worked in, the kind of skills that you have acquired. What you want to do is make sure that your resume is within one single page, because human resource departments here do not have time to go through resumes that's 3, 4, 5 pages long. You have to make sure you edit your resume within one page, and you want to make sure that you only list those skills and the qualification that is relevant to the job that you're applying for. And part of the resume writing that you want to do is you want to make sure you attach a very recent photograph. Please don't put a photograph that was taken like 15 years ago or 10 years ago. You want to make sure that you have a photograph that was perhaps taken a few months ago or even a few weeks ago. And you want to make sure that you are contactable should the employer want to arrange an interview with you. You want to make sure that your phone number is correct, your country code is correct, as well as your email address is current. You might want to make sure that your email address is something that is more professional. Please do not have an email address that says prettylady.com or something like that, right? You want to make sure it's a professional email address that makes you look professional. Once you have got your resume current and your photograph current, the next thing you want to do is get on the internet and go to websites that originates from Singapore offering jobs that is listed in Singapore. This will be sites like JobsDB, Job Central, Monster Jobs, and JobStreet. What you want to do is fill up an account there and make sure you fill in the information that is required of you so that you can start matching you with jobs that will fit your qualification and your experience. Make sure you are as detailed as possible so that the employer has all the details that they need to make a decision as to whether to contact you for an interview. On the jobs platform, you want to make sure that you are extremely persistent. You want to send out at least 5, 10, or even 15 job applications that are related and relevant to the skills that you possess. Do not just send one single job application and expect to get success with that. It is not going to be that easy, but there are employers who are always looking out for foreign workers to invite them to come to Singapore to work. So you want to make sure it's a daily affair. You go through all these websites, filter through all the new jobs that's upcoming, and make sure you apply for these jobs, fill in the details that they need, send them your resume, and make sure that you're contactable. You got to do this every single day, and make it a part of a habit. And you have to persist, and eventually you will be contacted either by email or by a phone call by a potential employer or a headhunting recruitment agency to have a chat with you about a potential job that's available here in Singapore. After a few weeks of sending resumes, or even after a few months of resume sending, and you have been waiting, and eventually you get a call from an employer or a headhunting firm, what you want to do is make sure that you send them your most updated resume, because it may have changed in the last few months since you last applied for the job. What you also want to do is to make sure that you Google the company that you will be working for, to make sure you know as much as possible about the company. You want to make sure that the company is a good fit for you. You want to make sure the company has a great culture for looking after its employees. And research on the company is important as well, because it shows to your employer that you care who you're going to work with. Your potential employer may call you up to arrange for a video conferencing interview, either by Skype or by WhatsApp video call, or they may ask that you come down to Singapore for a face-to-face interview. What you want to do is to make sure that you can accumulate quite a few number of physical interviews that you can go to and attend, and when you fly down from your country to Singapore. I will be making a separate video on how to live in Singapore for cheap when you are here to attend a few of the interviews that has been lined up with your employers. Once you have your interview and your employer has decided to confirm you and employ you, the human resource department of the company will actually apply the relevant work passes for you. There are predominantly three kinds of work passes here. We have the S pass, the E pass, as well as the work permit. What kind of pass you will be getting for your visa stay here depends on your salary that you will be drawing, as well as the job description and the kind of roles that you will be doing. All this will be taken care of by your human resource department, so you don't have to worry about it. In the meantime, while trying to find a job here, you want to make sure you save as much money as you can. Because once you start a job here, you will not be paid a salary first. You might be paid only at the end of 1 month working here. But you will have to be able to find accommodation here and to pay for accommodation here. And you will have to have things like be able to pay for transport and food to last you for the month before you get paid. And you want to make sure you have enough money for a deposit on rental of a place, and you want to make sure that you are saving the kind of money so that if you get a job offer, you can take it. It is such a waste when I see foreign friends who has found a great job in Singapore and who has been offered a role here, but they are unable to come here because they just don't have enough money to tide them over for the first few months while they are here and they're settling down here. You will be needing money for your food, for your transport, for your lodging, as well as to know the place. So you want to make sure you save as much money as possible. So the job hunting process is different from everybody. It may not apply to be the same for everyone, but the steps that I have taken in this video is pretty much a good structure that you can rely on and follow with. If you had found this video useful, make sure you share this video. Leave your comments below. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comments below. I might just do a Q&A session in future and answer your questions with the knowledge that I have. I have been working and living in Singapore for the past 40 years, so I am sure I have the experience that can help you. If you're new to my channel, I make music videos, music tutorials, I do food reviews, as well as I talk about my lifestyle in Singapore. I want to give you tips and information that can improve your life. So if you find my video helpful, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you will get my updated videos whenever I upload. Till the next time, I'll see you again. Bye-bye.